Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Deja Vu here, bringing you the semifinals from the Winners League. This is going to be Woongjin Stars, who beat STX Seoul last week 4-1 off of Soulkey's all-kill. They are moving on this week to play MBC Game Hero, who is led by none other than the new Terran genius, Light. That is Light on the left side of your screen, and Neo G Soulkey on the right. I apologize for the video quality. Unfortunately, what's uploaded right now, this is all we've got on John747, and I didn't get a notice saying that like it was still processing or something. But I'll check it later, and if a better video comes out, I'll download that and just, you know, add the commentary to that. Didn't really want to wait till for Navake, because I figured you'd rather see them faster and in a little lower quality than a couple days late. So that was just my feeling on it, so that's why I'm just deciding to go right into this, even though we have a kind of a not a good video here. At least I'm not on a good video, I can tell you that right now. I can definitely tell you that I cannot even read that says Woongjin Stars 4 on the right side there. I can't even read that, but that's okay. This is going to be, the first map is going to be Neo Moon Glaive, and we're going to have Light in the bottom left, the blue Terran, and we're going to have Soulkey at the 12 o'clock position, the orange Zerg. Now, this map is actually technically a Terran favored map overall, something like 65%, somewhere in that range. In fact, this map really hasn't been all that balanced at all. Terran has pretty much trashed Zerg, Zerg has trashed Protoss, and Protoss has trashed Terran, so for the most part. So not exactly the most balanced map, at least in the pro scene, but hey, it's still a pretty fun map. It's got some like back doors, it's got a lot of gas expansions, big open middle. It's a pretty fun map, I think. It's pretty entertaining, but yeah, for whatever reason, it hasn't really been very well balanced. But this is going to be really, really interesting. MBC Game Hero has decided to lead off with Light in this series, and that is just a absolutely crazy move, really audacious move. Normally, you'll see ace players, and for MBC, Light is most certainly, without a doubt, the extreme ace player for them. Normally, you see them wait till the very, very end, because normally they don't have weaknesses. Map imbalances most of the time don't even really apply to the ace players on big teams, because they're just that good. They can overcome the map imbalances, they can overcome pretty much anything, or at least that's the hope, to come away with victories for their teams. But looks like MBC Game Hero has actually decided to lead off with Light, and I actually like this move. I think the reason they did this is that they don't want Light to be facing Free. Free is riding something like a 4-game win streak against Light and like a 5-game win streak versus C, something ridiculous. He's been doing so well against both of them, and Free has definitely been on his game recently, and they didn't really want to have Light face off against him, and it does look like we're going to have a 12 hatch here from Soulkey. So this actually gives MBC Game Hero a pretty good shot at keeping Light away from Free for at least 2 sets. After this on Moon Glaive, assuming of course that Soulkey comes back down to earth and doesn't somehow come up with an all-kill again, which would just, or even beat Light. If he just beat Light, that would be ridiculous. But I'm going to say that he's probably not going to, that Soulkey's going to come back down to earth, Light's going to show him a move or two and take him down. And that should be that here on Neo Moon Glaive. But the next map is actually Tornado, and that should, probably we won't see Free on Tornado either. Tornado, depending upon your start positions, Terrans can definitely get really nice timing pushes on Protoss. So I don't think they're going to try and send Free out there. We could see a G1P1 or maybe a Quanro on New Tornado. But yeah, that would be my guess, either a G1P1 or a Quanro there. But New Tornado has been pretty favorable for Terrans versus Zergs, and not too bad Terran versus Protoss. Not too bad at all if you get the right starting positions and can execute a timing push, which I think Light should be able to do. Should be in good shape. And this is just pretty standard openings from both these players. We're going to have a 3-hatch layer coming from Soulkey and 1 Rax into CC opening for Light. If anything interesting was going on, I would have said something. But overall, nothing too important. We got scouts going on. Pretty much standard stuff across the board. TVZ is not changed a whole lot over the last year or two, so this is pretty much how it goes unless someone does something very, very radical. This is pretty much the opening. 1 Rax into CC has pretty much dominated the scene for Terrans, and Zergs to counter that. I've just seen more and more 12 hatches, it seems like, every month. you just keep watching, you see more and more 12 hatches, because Terran players have just gotten so good at microing with their Marines and their SCVs that there's hardly even a point to go 9 pool speed or something like that. You can try, but the fact of the matter is that it just usually doesn't work. And actually, we got a couple Marines pushing out here, gonna actually pick off a Zergling. Ouch! Soulkey a little bit sloppy there. Shouldn't have lost that Zergling. Sees the 3 Marines coming out though. I don't think Soulkey, I hope, doesn't overreact or anything, throwing down a sunken colony this early. That would be really unfortunate. That would be a huge victory for Light if Soulkey was to overreact like that. But I don't think he will. Soulkey looked pretty good in the last week. Granted, he won 2 or 3 ZVZs, so whether or not I haven't really seen him win versus the Terran yet. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Supposedly, apparently, he beat Justin, which, meh, whatever. Doesn't really mean too much. But I have seen him beat some Zergs last week. We did see him knock off a lot of Zergs, so that was pretty darn cool. And we'll see what he's got here against Light. But yeah, what I was saying before is I think Free actually will be saved for Light. Free will be a Light sniper, and he should probably appear on match point. I'm going to assume that Light, first of all, wins this game, and I think Light will win the next game, and then Free should show up on match point, and that should be a great game. I actually wrote a preview article for SC2GG, and Backho wrote as well, and yeah, so if you want to go check that out, that's kind of cool if you want to read about some of, and he did a pretty cool thing where he like went through the strengths and weaknesses of the different players, so that was pretty sweet if you want to see that on SC2GG. If not, whatever, you should be, I'm sure most of the players in this series you'll probably know, but at least for Wungjin Stars, I can't foresee them not using their big 3 this week, once Soulkey presumably loses. I gotta think that they'll be using their big 3, and you should know them pretty well at this point. So that's good. We got 3 sunken colonies actually coming up for Soulkey right now, preparing for the push that's going to come out from Light. I think this is a little bit early actually, but you know, it never hurts to be a little bit extra prepared. And he sees the Marines pushing out right now. We'll see if he's morphing those colonies. Yeah, morphing all 3 of them. So he should be in pretty good shape to defend against this 3 sunken colonies with some Zergling support. He'll be in good shape, and actually trying to go for a little bit of a backstep here, but there's a fire bat at home, along with a couple Marines, and actually sneaks by the fire bat. So gonna get a full scout in here, gonna see everything that's gonna go down, seeing the number of racks, seeing the factory, knows that there isn't a starport up yet, actually gets an SCV kill. Very nice, gets an SCV kill. That's definitely a victory there for those 2 Zerglings, and then the Zerglings just get melted by a Marine. But it looks like Light did not decide to engage, didn't even really push that far across the map there. You can see on the mini-map that he's still pretty close to his zone of control, hasn't really pushed out. But I think he's just going to try and play this macro style. It looks like he's going to play this macro style. Maybe put on a little bit of pressure again soon once he gets maybe another fire bat or 2 out. Maybe put on a little bit more pressure, force Soulkey to use some more larva on military, and try to do that sort of a thing right now, and try and beat the Mutalisks to put pressure on. Normally that's how Terran players like to play, try to put some pressure on before the Mutalisks arrive. But nope, not going to happen. Not going to actually get any pressure on here. The Mutalisks are in the air. Turrets are up. It looks like turrets are up everywhere. We got a couple at the natural. We got a couple at the main. We got some covering the barracks. Not a ton. Sometimes you'll see 2. You could see 2 to 3 at each of these locations. And it looks like for the most part, Light has decided to go for 2 rather than 3. And, oh man, Soulkey throwing out a hatchery right next to Light's SCV. And Soulkey just hovering over 3 turrets. Oh man, this could be bad for him. Taking down 1 turret, taking down a 2nd turret. But the Marines are in play now. Now he's got to be careful here. Oh wow, Soulkey didn't do that much damage there. I don't like that play. He went in there, charged 3 turrets, killed 2 of them, but took a lot of damage on his Mutalisks to do that. Maybe probably only killed a couple of SCVs. Didn't really do all that much damage, and absorbed a lot on his Mutalisks. So I don't know if that's really what he was looking to do here with this Mutalisk harassment. Not the best use, especially considering how cheap turrets are. You can rebuild those so quickly, and more Mutalisks being produced here. So we're getting close to a control group of Mutalisks here at this point, at which point they can start 2-shotting missile turrets, which is always very nice for Zerg players. And here we go. I think that's enough to start 2-shotting missile turrets with some proper micro. And you can see a couple of those Mutalisks are near dead. We got 4 Raxes up right now, and another turret up in the main is going to go down. Now we could see some SCVs going down. Now we see a couple of them dying. And I kind of... Yeah, he's actually getting several SCVs. Actually could pick off a tank gun and getting 1 tank. Could get the 2nd tank. Is he? Oh, gotta be careful. Losing a Mutalisk there. Was thinking about charging in there. 4 turrets at the natural expansion. That's going to be a tough one to break. And it looks like he's just going to wrap around the bottom of the map. Bypass those turrets. Now he needs to get those Mutalisks home soon. I can't tell. There's a blob in the middle that's